Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Josephine if you are new here, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. This week's video I am going to be talking through my personal curriculum. I have seen loads of people on social media doing these. I think it's a really great way to continue learning. I love learning and I just don't feel that when you leave school that should be the last time that you learn anything. I think the personal curriculum is a great way to A, fight brain rot, but also B, continue learning and engaging and like using your brain for things. So I am starting mine now. Most people started at the beginning of the year, but time is a social construct and I wasn't ready. So it's the beginning of February. I'm starting mine now. I think it's fine to start a little bit late. I have given myself 4 courses that I'm going to be doing through the first half of the year. I've started some of them already, but let's get into it. The first course I'll be doing is Intersectional Feminism, and these are some of the books that I'll be reading. The main objective here is to understand the history of intersectional feminism and also how to apply an intersectional feminist framework to my work, or how to apply an intersectional lens to my work. This module will require quite a lot of reading, so these are some of the books that I'll be reading. These include Fugitive Feminism, Critical Reflections on Ownership, Black Looks, which I've already written. I've already read this, but I'll be reading it again. Hood Feminism, which I can't recommend enough. The Invention of Women. So that this isn't just a reading module, there's also some videos that I've seen online on YouTube that I'll be watching. I've seen a few videos that Kimberly Crenshaw, the person who coined the term intersectional feminism, she is speaking about what that means and what it looks like. So I will be watching those videos. Also, the show on Netflix, History 101, has an episode just titled Feminism. I've never watched History 101 before, but I think it will be an interesting episode. The main output for this module I'm envisioning is that I'll be able to write at least one article for my Substack that will look at a topic through an intersectional feminist lens. I've already written about, ecofeminism and data ecofeminism, which I've posted about on my Substack and here on YouTube, and also I think I've posted about it on TikTok as well. But additionally, I want to be able to write a more detailed rationale for my PhD proposal. I've already submitted the proposal, but if I get interviewed, doing all of this work and research will be really helpful. And long term, if I get onto doing a PhD, I will need to understand intersectional feminism much more and how to apply it to my work. The second module I will be taking is Critical Data Studies. This module has 2 objectives. The first one is to understand the history of technology and data and how these shape modern society. And the second objective is to understand the critical debates and discourses around technological developments. Similar to the intersectional feminist module, this is quite relevant for my work, as in my job, and also my PhD research that I would like to conduct. This module will also require quite a lot of reading, which I've already started, but this will also have more media content just by virtue of what it is. Data studies, there'll be a lot more podcasts that I'll be listening to, as well as documentaries that I'll be watching. There is a show called AI Decoded that I've been watching, as well as the podcast Tech Won't Save Us is a favourite of mine, which I think is really relevant for this world. Some of the books that I'll be reading, I've seen that my library has a few of them, and these include books like Digital Degrowth, Algorithms of Oppression, Co-Intelligence, Techno-Feudalism and Death Glitch. I also might finally cave and get a subscription to the MIT Tech Review. I've read a few of their articles and I do always find them to be quite good, so I might, bite the bullet and finally pay for that. The main outputs for this are also quite similar to the intersectional feminism module. I've already written a few articles about AI and data ecofeminism, but I'd like to write something far more critical and academically rigorous. Again, I need a stronger grasp of some of these concepts for my PhD proposal, hopefully interviews, and long term my actual PhD work. Additionally, there's a few papers that I have work in progress with some collaborators of mine that, again, having all of this grounding would just be really useful for my work. The third module is art/art history. This is very much a fun one. I hope I enjoy all of my modules, but this one is the most creative one. This one is honestly just to introduce some whimsy back into my life. I do want to understand the role of art across different societies and geographies, but my primary goal here is to begin creating art again. I used to draw and paint and all of these different things when I was much younger. I also did art at GCSE, and so I'd just really like to get back to creating without that fear that it needs to be for a purpose or it needs to be perfect. I'll be researching different art styles from different parts of the world and doing some light research about artists that I already know about and like their work. There's also some artists throughout history who I'll be looking at their work, but it'll be very top level and quite light. As I said, the main point of this module is to just be creative again and really just get back into creating art as a hobby. I only have one real goal or output for this module, and that is to create one big piece of art. So this can be anything. I'm not being fussy about the medium, I'm not being fussy about what scale or size, but I just want by the end of this, curriculum cycle that I would have created something quite substantial, and I don't want to have any fear about it being perfect or not perfect or looking right. It's solely for me. The final module is Christianity, which is obviously a way of life. It's something I've been doing for many years and will continue throughout my entire life, but I wanted to be far more intentional about Bible study and engaging with scripture, and I thought that this structure of like a curriculum would be just really helpful for me to do that in a more intentional way. I have two goals for this module. Just like the other modules, I still have objectives and goals. The main goal here is to gain a better understanding of the books written by John, and the second goal is to understand the role of numbers and genealogy throughout the Bible. Naturally, the main component of the reading list will be the Bible. This is my ESV Bible. I also have an NLT and an NIV, but there's also some commentaries that I've been recommended, as well as Bible study guides like this one, if you can see, and also little ones like this. There's not really a measurable output for this one, but one of my friends told me that you can't have a beef with a disciple, so here we are. I'm trying to engage with the books written by John a little bit more, and honestly just be more intentional with my faith. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's a really great way to just continue learning, to be a lifelong learner. I think education is such a privilege and a joy, and honestly, I'm one of those people who kind of misses being at school or university. I think this type of structure is just really useful. I think in an age where we spend so much time scrolling and detached from people, and honestly, some governments don't really want people to be well educated, I think any opportunity a person can have to learn and continue learning is such a great thing, and so I'm really looking forward to this. If you have done a personal curriculum, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear about what modules people are taking. I think this is such a fun trend, and I've already enjoyed talking about some of the books that my friends are reading on their like more literature based personal curriculums. So if you're doing this or are interested in doing this, please comment down below what it is you'll be studying or engaging with this quarter, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed.